Were Gallus able to overcome the pre-show amigos?
Will the bomber detonate the finest?
Will the Australian Amazon rip through the American Ninja Munchkin?
Did the young veterans get grizzled?
And what's next for Pete Dunne after his defeat? Gentlemen, raise your beverages. This is NXT Party.
Support, no DQ. Okay, I believe you.
It's a must.
Okay, I believe you. Jump in the line.
Shake, 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 Sinora.
Yes, that's what we do when we're not video recording.
We are video recording.
Support, no DQ.
Welcome everybody to the NXT party for episode number 39 of NXT UK. I'm your host, the Rated R reviewer, Stefan Osborne, joined as always by the General Jerry Slaughter.
Good evening, wrestling fans.
And tonight our special guests are the Cleaver, Colin Andrew. How you doing, Colin?
I'm doing great. How are we doing?
And we've got Cindy G, the Duchess herself. How are you doing, Cindy?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me once again, gentlemen.
Yes, and she'll be mad if I don't mention she's also 1/3 of the ladies of No DQ.
And the Indie Queen.
By her shirt there.
That's right.
Sorry, folks, that title's a little bit in the way, but it's okay. It's part of the decor.
We got a 4-match show tonight.
Yes, we did. My favorite. And
quite the hodgepodge, man.
Quite a bit of stuff in between. Stuff that actually builds off of some of the matches, which is something that we don't see a lot in NXT UK. I'm glad they're throwing that in there. Some matches between NXT UK superstars and legit NXT superstars.
Yeah.
This was a fun show.
I think what really also made it fun was the venue that we were in, too. Because it was a smaller venue in Brooklyn. So it had that big match feel to it, but in a very, very small environment.
And you could tell that this crowd were actually NXT UK fans.
Yes.
Because many of them, when Zach Gibson came out with Drake, they did the if you hate Gibson, shoes up or shoes off. Or
shoes.
Whatever the fuck it is. I'm at home. I'm actually not wearing shoes at the moment.
Oh, can I reviews if I have one? Wow.
Oh, let me grab my...
These are my workout
Nobody gets
shoes.
to see the Beavis. You hate Gibson shoes up.
I can't take my shoes. I can't take my shoes off because I love Gibson in ass face.
Actually, I do too. But it would be fun to take your shoes off and make everybody in the crowd smell your feet.
I love Nigel. What's that smell?
I think for me it depends on what's in the floor below me. Like if somebody spilled a soda earlier, probably not going to take my shoes off.
Doesn't stop me in the theater.
Just be, or even one shoe, just be standing there hopping, waiting.
Yeah.
So we start off the show with Mark and Joe Coffey coming out with Wolfgang, but he actually heads to the back. They part ways after their cool-ass three-way handshake to their cool-ass Gallus music. I really dig Gallus. Not really a fan of the way that they've really downplayed them since Joe Coffey lost the championship match.
To Pete Dunne, yeah.
I wish that they were a little closer to the main event. It's not starting the show off. Anyway, they are facing Raul Mendoza and Humberto Carrillo.
We didn't know who they were going to face, and then when they came out, my face just lit up.
Now, this is a mix, because Raul Mendoza is NXT, but I believe Humberto Carrillo is now 205 Live.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag 205 Live matters.
NoDQ.com/Noah.
Yes.
So, I've actually got a bunch of notes for this match, some high spots, and I'm sure you guys are going to touch on it. Let's start with Cindy G. What did you think about this opening match?
It is a pretty good opening of the match. I can see there's both great dynamics for both teams. However, I feel that Humberto did most of the work than Raul Mendoza. Even though he did some couple of cool high spots here and there, I feel that Humberto did outshine the rest because of where he's at right now with 205 Live and where he's going from there. Regarding with the Coffey brothers, they're freaking amazing. Especially, they're really good working together. And of course, I was pretty much tuned into this whole match in general, especially at the end where Joe did the best for the belt to Mendoza with the pin and won. So a solid opener, I must say so.
I mean, at least they're winning.
Yeah.
But you kind of knew they were going to win when it was against Raul Mendoza and Humberto Carrillo, because I don't think those guys have had a win, even on NXT. Well, on NXT, that's pretty much the only place they're a tag team. So, what about you, Colin? What did you think about this match?
I'm a huge fan of Gallus, as you stated earlier. I like seeing the Coffees work together. Hopefully, if they're not going to do anything main event-wise with them, hopefully they get put the tag title somehow in the near future. But I thought it was a good opening match. The power of Gallus is unreal. The Coffee Brothers, those dudes have some real heavy hitting. Mendoza, I haven't really seen too much of him. So I'm still getting used to seeing him on a few things. But I was impressed by his work. I thought it was a good start to the opening show, though. It gave a real good energy. I'd like to see this match again sometime, honestly, though.
Maybe with a different combination of Gallows. Maybe with like Mark and Wolfgang, or Joe and Wolfgang. I'd like to see Joe and Wolfgang. There's a tag team combination we haven't seen out of them, really.
No,
Yeah.
just in a 6-man, really.
So, what about you, Jerry?
I love this match in general because we had like 2 high flyers and we had the power of Gallus, which was already going to be a cool combination. But anytime Humberto's in a ring, granted, I've only seen certain moves out of him that, always floor me. And even then, like, I'm like, oh, look at that. And he's done that in every match. Like, I don't give a shit. He's great.
No, it was me over in the other chair being like, Jerry, you paid it. Backing it up. Jerry, watch this shit.
Yep.
This is the problem with taking notes, folks.
Yeah. But even then, like, Carrillo's one of those ones that demands attention. If I could somehow get him versus Jordan Devlin on NXT UK, that'd be a badass match. But, like...
That really would be, actually.
Yeah, that would be an insanely good match. Granted, Humberto would probably lose, but he'd put up a good fight with Devlin. Raul Mendoza, he got to show us more than he usually gets to show us. He actually got the hot tag in this one.
Well, I think they both got a hot tag, to be honest, but go ahead.
But, like, the... All Rough Extra Bells from Joe Coffey for me this time came out of nowhere because he didn't play around with it. He just stepped into the ring and before he's even turned.
Dijakovic hit it.
Yeah. It was a Dijakovic kick all over again.
Well, no, it was a much longer match.
Much
longer match.
But naturally, we saw some really great moves out of Joe Coffey, like, the butterfly swing and whatnot. But then Mark actually, I think, got the loudest impact with that kick.
Yeah,
we paused it because I'm pretty sure it echoed through the halls of this place, and it was just nuts.
I paused it to take notes.
Yeah, okay, that's great.
I have the remote control, so it's easier for me to take notes. I'm like, boom, okay, I need to write this down, and he's just over there like, and then he wants to write something down, and then he misses some shit. I'm like, dude.
See, that's
did you
what
see
I run
this?
into it. Like crap. I can't take notes and pay attention. If I don't take notes, and I can't remember half the stuff that I should remember.
And I'll be damned if I'm watching it twice.
Same.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
Same. Even though there's a lot of botches.
But I get my notes in when they're due. That's why I don't do bell to bell anymore. I just try and do the high spots, the stuff that's worth remembering. Any other thoughts before I roll into that?
No, go ahead and roll in.
So Mark and Joe Coffey basically take over this match with their strength. You've got Raul Mendoza. He gets beat down for a while. Nothing flashy, nothing worth taking notes over other than the fact that you're eating the clock.
Yeah.
And then he actually gets a hot tag into Carrillo, who comes in. And he gets a little bit of offense, but then gets shut down, and they start wearing on him. He got a handspring elbow, misses the moonsault, though. That was a brilliant-looking moonsault. Just so much vertical and such a short distance post to wherever the fuck, I think it was Joe Coffey on the mat.
It was Joe.
So he ends up kind of roll flipping through it, but then Joe turns around and runs into him and pushes him into the turnbuckle, and this was just sick looking.
With that ram, yeah.
And then after that, Joe gets him in the butterfly swing into the overhead suplex, which is always great. Near fall, though. And then that's where Mendoza gets the hot tag. And he just starts dropping enziguris on everybody. I think he lands one on Mark on the apron that just sends him outside. Like, he takes over, and then Carrillo gets back in, I guess, off of a tag. We see stereo suicidas to the outside to both Mark and Joe, but double that because they get back in the ring, and each one of them does another one.
Death by stereo suicida.
So they get somebody back in the ring, and Carrillo goes up top and hits this moonsault that, again, is high and short. Really, really, really close to the turnbuckle. And I can't stress this enough, because then he tags in Mendoza, who does a motherfucking 450 splash.
Mm-hmm.
And the point of, I think it was Mark, being so close to the ropes was already his feet were under the ropes, and the ref should have seen that, but he was counting anyway. But Joe grabs him and pulls him out of the ring. Like, this pin's not happening. And furthermore, let's see. Yeah, that's basically the end of the match. Because they get back in the ring, and Mendoza goes for a roll-up, and he kicks out. And Joe catches him with an uppercut through the ropes. Like, Mendoza goes chest into the middle rope, kind of. So Joe hits him with an uppercut. And off of that, Mark hits the aforementioned enziguri that Jerry talked about. Yeah.
His face is up in the second row.
He tags Joe, and immediately Joe comes in and spins into the All Raw Best for the Bells. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Actually, I was like, that wasn't All Raw Best for the Bells. There was no spin. Sure enough, he caught him with a spin as he's going through the ropes. So
I really like Mendoza's 450 splash.
Well,
so
the
everybody
450
down
was very
claims Mendoza can go suck an egg. Like, that was a beautiful 450.
They were dressed like a tag team. They looked like a tag team. They could be a tag team.
Just Carrillo's got, I hate to say these words together, but mad hops. Like, he can jump so high. He has got Montez Ford levels of jumping ability.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Or maybe it's just his moonsault. Who knows? So after this, we get an interview with Cassius Ohno.
Not Cassius. Not Cassius.
He reminds Radzi. Not Cassius. Cassius.
Oof.
And it's Cassius Ohno, man. What was this promo about? I didn't even write any notes.
Oh, he's pretty much just attacking Ligero. But Colin, I'm gonna let you take care of this one.
Yeah, he was saying he wants to bring back traditional British wrestling. He's not impressed with Ligero. He is a quality over quantity type person. He wants to show the world what real veterans look like. And you can be the big fish in a small pond, or you can be the kingpin, the CEO of the KO, Cassius Ohno.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think about this promo, Cindy?
Very stellar promo. Shows that Ono has a very cocky and arrogant viewpoint of what wrestling's supposed to be about. Looking forward to what's going to be happening. Looks like maybe going to have like a feud between him versus Ligero. Time will tell, but I am loving it every minute of it.
To be completely honest, I was following this promo until Cassius mentioned Ligero. As soon as he brought up one specific wrestler, I was like, oh, so this is just leading up to a match between him and Ligero. Like, all right, whatever. And I completely tuned out for the rest of it. I have no idea what he said about Ligero until my man up here, Colin, dropped it on me. Like, I just don't care. Because Ligero. So what are we going to see? Are we going to see Ligero get fed to Cassius Ohno to build Cassius Ohno up for another loss? Or is Cassius Ohno going to fucking lose to Ligero? Which, to me, just doesn't make any sense.
After losing to Travis Banks this past week, he's got to beat Ligero.
But, I mean, Ligero does have a victory over Joseph Connors, but god damn, he can lift Joseph Connors. Just saying. Yeah. He's not going to lift up Cassius Ohno, I don't think. No. Maybe he's going to prove me wrong next week. Oh, did I let it slip? Anyway, any other thoughts about this promo before we move on, Colin?
No.
So up next, we get a video package for Pete Dunne versus Walter. And what's fun about this, even though it's 2 weeks prior, 2 weeks since, and we're still seeing stuff about NXT Takeover New York.
Because it was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting about this is we get some interviews built into this promo.
Mm-hmm.
What people think about the match, specific people. I think we even had an interview with Kathy Kelly, maybe.
Kathy Kelly
Yes.
actually said she was surprised by
Yeah.
the turnout.
No idea what she had said.
She said exactly what you just said. She was surprised that the 685-day reign had ended.
It didn't get interesting for me until we saw Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was. Yeah.
And they kind of talked between themselves for a moment and then said, we don't care.
We don't have an opinion on
Yeah,
this.
no opinion on this. We don't care.
Nope.
And then they showed Jordan Devlin, who says he could care less.
Yeah.
And just after he says he could care less, he turns around and approaches. Walter approaches him.
Oh yeah.
And he's got the title over his shoulder and some kind of tracksuit on. And doesn't look as menacing in a tracksuit. Just saying.
Yep.
I don't know. He looks like that, German kingpin that, his casuals.
Don't get me wrong. He looks super serious as fuck. But just
Well, if his track jacket said ring comp instead of tap out, maybe it'd be a little better.
there you go.
Exactly.
All right, so Cindy, I'm going to ask you this first. When do you think we're going to get this match between Walter and Devlin? Do you see it further down the road, or do you see it relatively close, maybe within the next 2 weeks or so?
I would say further down the road because, first of all, before I get into that, my opinion about what Marcel Bartel and Fabian Eichner said, they have no opinion. I can understand why because, they're very respected with Walter, of course, with Marcel Bartel being part of Ringcom,
Yep.
with Walter, Thatcher, also Alexander Wolf, and one other recent German wrestler, which forgive me, I forget his name is. They're just showing some respect. So with saying no opinion, I can say that they're showing some respect. So that's just me. Regarding what's going to be next for the feud between Devlin and Walter, it will have to be down the line because of what's going to be happening right after, which I'm not going to spoil it too much.
Yeah.
Maybe. I think Jordan Devlin versus Walter is, I hate to say it, an NXT UK television title match.
I think it's going to be too.
It's going to be somewhere between now and the next NXT UK takeover.
Or NXT San Jose, takeover San Jose even.
Yeah.
That I'm more than happy to.
So I see Walter retaining against Jordan Devlin easily. I don't think Jordan Devlin is going to be WWE UK champion anytime soon. Soon. But he really ought to be, and I know Colin agrees with me. I know Jerry agrees with me. The European champion. They need to have that.
NXT European champion.
Yes.
There you go. NXT European champion. No, fuck it. The UK championship is WWE. The WWE European championship.
But that'd be two WWE.
I don't give a fuck. They do it with the UK title. They can do it with the mid-card title.
But it'd be two WWE titles under an NXT banner.
You already have one.
Yeah, you don't need two.
All the precedents you need. And the European Championship, granted, I think it made it. Did it make it to WWE? Or was it? So the last time?
It has the WWE logo.
So
it's got this,
the last incarnation of it is the WWE European Championship. Because if you rebrand it as NXT, you don't break the lineage. Keep it WWE European Championship, and you bring the entire lineage of the belt. I dig that.
Okay.
Anyway, or maybe rebrand it so there is no lineage.
Make it a
so
television
it's
championship.
Not an older belt than the actual UK championship.
Yeah.
So I could see both arguments. Up next, match number 2, we get another NXT UK debut, Kona Reeves.
I saw the Titan. I'm like this can't be. It's Kona.
You know what? I'm really digging Kona.
Yeah.
Like I never really hated him or anything. I just thought he was a little too smug with his gimmick. He's toned back the smugness, and I don't know. He kind of reminds me of Drew Barrymore's character's brother in 50 First Dates. He's
But,
tired. But Doug, I think.
Yeah. Find a shirt with less holes in it. Get yourself a date.
So, who is Kona Reeves jobbing to tonight? Dave Mastiff.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he definitely is. And he definitely did. What do you think about this match, Jerry?
Well, first off, we have to talk about right the entrance for Mastiff. The right when he got into the ring and did his stomp and camera shake and pan back.
Yeah.
You marked out a little bit. Yeah.
Well, you didn't catch it.
We established
it up.
We established this. We do a lot of backing up.
Well, no, that's the only reason I marked out about it is because I got to watch it twice.
Yeah.
The first time I was just like, oh, nice. And you're like, what? I'm like, sweet. I get to watch it again. I got reason to back it up. Because every time I back it up, it takes longer to do the show and get through it. And we know we got more notes to take. So, yeah, the camera kind of shakes when he does his yell and his pose. And it's pretty cool looking. I think it works.
But he's looking more Vader-like by the day, to the point where now he doesn't even hide it. He wears the red, he wears the black, his name's on his shirt.
And the black intercepts with the red.
Right in the V,
right,
yeah.
Just because it says Mastiff doesn't mean Vader Jr.
He's
the British Vader.
Mini Vader.
Big beard Vader.
What do you think about this match, Colin?
I thought it was a good match. It was good to see Mastiff again. I was kind of honestly hoping for a little video package or something for him before the match, because we get these vignettes with him and his daddy issues and stuff. So I was hoping they would kind of play something into that. But no, I thought it was a good match.
I hope you're playing with me, man.
So, seriously, we're at the end.
You
of
the daddy issues?
Yeah, at the end of the match, please. At the end of the match, please don't give him a microphone.
No, that's where they've been going the last couple of vignettes. So I'm just kind of surprised that. Well, I shouldn't say surprised, but I don't know. I just figured they would be doing
elated.
I'm not happy that they,
I'm hoping that part is just being dropped now that he's back in the ring live.
I hope so too. I don't know. Last time we talked about this deal was we were discussing the daddy issues.
Yeah, but one of those motherfuckers watches this show and they were like, you know what? He's right. It's time to drop the daddy thing and then just go for me.
Just make him destroy.
Yeah, just make him go out there and destroy. And he didn't necessarily destroy Kona Reeves, because Kona Reeves did get some offense in, but not a lot that Kona Reeves is going to do to Mastiff, because he can't really lift him all that well.
You forget how tall Kona Reeves is, but you realize how wide Mastiff is.
Just the size difference vertically, you're like, wow, Mastiff isn't that big. But then the size difference horizontally, you're like, wow, Kona Reeves isn't that big either. Because he looks like a stalk of Hawaiian sugar cane. God. He's really thin, and Mastiff is really wide and short.
That's some Ronaldo stuff right there, Stefan. You did great with that.
I'm just calling it like I see it, man.
I love his cannonball, though.
What do you think about this match, Cindy?
It's a pretty good short match. When I found out that Dave Mastiff's gonna face Conan Reeves, I was like, oh shit, rest in peace, Conan. That's gonna be the match that's gonna end quick, but no, it ends a little longer than I expected. But I do say this, I give, props to Conan for, stepping up to a challenge, especially even though he's tall, but Dave Mastiff is one big dude, But overall, it was pretty good, even though he did yell at Dave Mastiff, you agree with the fineness? And I was like, bitch, please, yeah, right. But that's my initial reaction to it. But anyway, pretty good. Especially Mastiff did the rolling cannonball to Conan. That was one of the moments that I can remember. That is there, he made a mark, he won. So pretty much that'll be it for my saying. But again, more props to Conan for stepping up for one of the toughest SOB in NXT UK brand.
We need somebody to feed to Mastiff tonight. Anybody game?
Kona's like, I want to be on
I'll
TV.
do it.
I'll make my debut. Hell yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah. Back there in catering, just
Like
like,
catering, just hanging out.
just
I'll
let
do
me
it.
finish my hot dog and I'll be right there in just a moment.
I'll do it.
Colin with direct reenactment over here.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
So
I'm dying.
this match was okay. It was okay. It wasn't great or anything. Kona Reeves looked okay. He didn't really get enough offense.
You
on
pretty
Massive
much
to-
knew going into the match that, like, you know, Kona was going to lose. It's just watching how he was going to lose is going to be ideal.
But there are no spots in this match until the end.
Yeah.
And that's when Mastiff wins the thing. He hits a running... Okay, so they do this fun little running the ropes thing, but then Mastiff doubles back and comes off when Kona turns around and hits him with that running... I guess it's a crossbody splash.
Yeah.
Because he comes down pretty hard on the splash, and then picks him up, hits him with a club to the back of his head, and then deadlifts him into a German suplex. And then Kona makes the mistake of standing up, gets drop kicked into the corner, and of course a mastiff drop kick is massive.
Yes.
But that sets up Kona in the corner for
Into the void.
His running cannonball senton splash, and 1, 2, 3, mastiff wins.
Squashed him like a pineapple.
Although it wasn't a squash match, but
Nope.
that is a good metaphor for the Hawaiian Kona Reeves. Up next, we've got a selfie-style video promo. We've got Flash Morgan Webster, the man with 3 names, and Mark Andrews. And they are basically talking about Mustache Mountain. Because everything else they said about how good they are, blah, 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 whatever, it's like, not from the tag team matches I've seen you guys in. They want to jettison themselves to the top by taking on Mustache Mountain and hopefully winning. And I'm like, bitch, that's just win number 1 after a series of losses.
Yep.
So I don't even think beating Mustache Mountain would put him in any title picture. Because the guys that are currently getting into the title picture are going into this show 3 wins in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk about that here in a few moments. But I don't buy into Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews as a tag team at all anymore. Anybody argue that? What did you think, Cindy?
I can't argue with you on that.
Yeah, same on my end.
I haven't gotten into Flash Morgan Webster at all, and I'm still waiting for the heel turn from him. Because then maybe like something will spark, because he carries around too cool of a helmet and dresses too cool in suits to not be a freaking heel in some way, shape, or form.
Smack Andrews with that helmet.
Yes, that's what I'm waiting for.
But we got to talk about Mark Andrews, because I feel like as a singles competitor, he could be great.
Yeah.
But as a tag team, especially with Flash Morgan Webster, it just is.
He
it
gets
isn't
weighed
working for him.
down.
But he has the potential to be. I'm not going to say necessarily the same strength level as not Trent Seven, but Tyler Bate.
Yeah.
But moveset wise, very similar, and he's also got a similar style as Tyler Bate, and apparently they're very close anyway.
Yeah.
And via Eddie Dennis, we should see them coming into contact with each other in a singles environment soon as well. But I think Mandrews is the better upside than Flash Morgan Webster, even if Flash goes heel.
The thing is that I think they're also just kind of like postponing the inevitables until Noam Dar comes back and we finally get the rematch between those two, because that was such a phenomenal match till the ending.
Yeah, Dar just keeps getting fucking injured.
Yeah.
So up next, we get an interview post-match with Mastiff. Well, an attempted interview at first, because he doesn't even get a word in. And then we had Wolfgang interrupting and basically challenging him. Basically.
Yeah.
And then Mastiff says some stuff, and then they shove each other once a piece, and then somebody inexplicably comes in and breaks it up, and then calls in some referees.
One of the trainers and then the referees all show up like...
Apparently, when you're a referee in NXT and WWE, like, one of your side jobs is to police the hallways and make sure that superstars don't get into...
There's a squabble! There's a squabble!
Yeah. Just be everywhere all at once.
Hall monitors.
Anybody have notes on this? Colin?
I mean, we kind of froze for a second. We're still on the Wolfgang thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Wolfgang kind of needs something to do. I feel we need something for a third member of Gallus to be doing something.
Yeah.
Put the Coffee Brothers together, let them be a tag team for a while. Wolfie, you do something. Mastiff needs someone else to go through and start having him go through the members of Gallus.
I could have swore we've already seen this match, though.
Yeah.
We have not seen this match. We've been talking about it, though. The idea of Joe Coffey versus Mastiff at some point. And this would be starting.
Joe Coffey or Wolfgang?
No, Joe Coffey. But
Oh.
yeah, I figure he's going to start at the bottom of Gallus, which is what I consider Wolfgang to be. I consider Wolfgang, Mark, Joe. And then possibly from there, that could lead to a title shot against Walter or whoever has the UK belt by then.
I would have gone Mark, Wolfgang, Joe.
I don't know. After seeing Mark wrestle a little bit more, I'm actually more of a Mark. I'm actually more of a Mark guy than a Wolfgang guy.
So, anybody else before we move on?
No, you guys just said it. What I'm about to say so far. I mean, if Dave Massa can outlast Gallows, then hell, we'll see what's going to happen regarding like the WWE UK title.
So, on to match number 3, another NXT UK debut. Casey Catanzaro.
Yes.
Catanzaro. Catanzaro.
Already a fan.
The American Ninja Warrior chick. Versus, and God bless Casey Catanzaro for agreeing to this,
Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley, the Australian Amazon. She is huge compared to Casey. Casey looks teeny tiny. Munchkin-like even.
Just a wee girl.
So, Colin, what did you think about this match?
I thought it was excellent for the fact that Rhea Ripley was in it. I love it.
Good answer.
No, I mean it was a pretty good match, honestly. I mean, the size difference was like David versus Goliath. I mean, honestly, it felt like a college girl beating up a kindergartner. But very athletic one, though. I'll give her props on that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of, oh God. It was a very short match, but it is that. Ripley talks a lot of crap in this match. Tells the ref at one point, I can't remember what she said at one, but it's pretty much like piss off. Yelling to the crowd. She gets an armbar in, and then Casey gets a handstand escape, which was pretty cool. She avoids a foot stop from Ripley. Catches her in the jaw near the end. Ripley goes for a delayed vertical suplex, but Casey counters into an inside cradle for 2. Get an Irish whip, and Ripley plants her with a riptide to pick up the victory.
That wasn't even a plant, dude. That was like
damn. And then after the match, she hits her reverse Texas cloverleaf and like picks her ass way up off the ground, like. She's not even touching the ground.
That's the best thing it's ever looked.
Oh, yeah.
She's using Rhea Ripley's knees as the ground.
Yes.
Yeah, like it was pretty badass looking. What about you, Cindy?
They did face off once again because the first time they actually faced off was last year's Mae Young Classic during round 2 of the tournament, and I feel that their match at the Mae Young Classic is much longer than the match they had for NXT UK, because in that match last year, it took like 7 minutes compared to this match is kind of like less than 5 minutes. Overall, kudos to Casey Catanzaro facing Rhea Ripley once again. Bless her heart. You know, she has pretty good offense when it comes to making sure that she is trying to dodge, you know, one of the toughest chicks in the NXT UK. However, when Rhea did the vertical suplex to Casey Catanzaro, I was like, holy crap, is this end? But nope, Casey pulled it through, and she did. But overall, within the aftermath of the match so far and Rhea's victory, you know that she's trying to put a mark to Casey Cassaro and send a message, even what happened during the backstage segment. But
We'll get to
we'll
that.
get into that later.
Yeah.
What about you, Jerry?
I love this match because, like, you know me, I like when matches are, like, equally carried by both sides. And Casey Catanzaro showed me a lot in this match by taking a lot of different moves and also her athleticism, like, you know, in selling a whole bunch of stuff that Rhea Ripley was doing very, very well. Like the Texas Cloverleaf thing at the end. Pretty much any kind of reversal or anything she did was very textbook, very smooth. You could tell she was learning a lot from Ricochet at this point. So, like, she's using a lot of her Ninja Warrior stuff, and she's using a lot of, like, stuff she's learning through the Performance Center. She's working wonders, and I think she's going to do a fantastic job. And she's also, right now, as it stands, my pick to be Candice LeRae's partner in next week's NXT match, I think, against Aaliyah
That
and
makes sense.
Aaliyah and Vanessa Moore. I think that's going to start her push in that company.
I'll tell you what I liked in this match. There were a couple of things, but especially
I know there was.
especially for Rhea Ripley. She has incorporated the stomp that she does in her entrance that's cued by the music.
Yeah.
Into the match. The stomp that Colin mentioned earlier that Casey avoided was executed exactly like she does on the stage before she comes to the ring.
So epic of a stomp.
Really like that. My first note here was actually from Casey Catanzaro.
Yes.
Because she does this like like a springboard off. So she goes to jump over the top rope from the apron. But when she's vertical with her hands on the top rope, she turns around and then comes down with her feet onto Rhea and does a head scissors. And that was just sweet looking. I don't think I've ever seen that
was
before.
a gymnast maneuver and a half.
Absolutely gymnast.
Automatically, that had to have been some one and only stuff right there.
But then out of that, she goes for a wheelbarrow, either a roll-up or a wheelbarrow face plant. But Rhea catches her off of that.
No self-freedom.
Yeah, and then toward the end of the match, Casey's in the corner, and Rhea runs into her, and Casey goes to jump over her, and Rhea catches her in the air and brings her in the ring, much like a Dominator. But when she throws her down, she just sets her up immediately for the Riptide, and there you go. 1, 2, 3. And that was a hell of a Riptide. She picked her up like she didn't weigh anything at all.
It wasn't even a plant, dude. It was like putting her 6 feet in the ground.
1, 2, 3, and then her music plays, and she goes to leave, and then she's like, "Wait a second, I haven't proven nothing yet. I haven't made my point yet." And so she gets back in the ring, and she does the inverted 4-leaf clover, and wow,
Yeah.
Yep.
or cloverleaf, or whatever it is.
Texas Cloverleaf.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, is it really a Texas cloverleaf anymore?
Is it in Texas?
It's pretty far away from Texas in a lot of ways. They are in Brooklyn, New York.
The down under cloverleaf.
I thought this was where we were going to see Piper Niven come in, but we did not.
Oh.
But we will fast forward for just a moment. We should go ahead and talk about it, because before we get to the main event, Casey's in the trainer's room, and Rhea comes in to talk some smack. Effectively.
Yeah.
She's Rhea Ripley.
Mm-hmm.
But then Piper interrupts her, and she kind of trails off like she's scared of Piper Niven. And I didn't like that part of it, but whatever. And then Piper's like, "What, you were saying something?" And then, Rhea goes away, and then Piper talks real nicely to Casey.
With the glasses and the fact that she broke up bullying, it was almost like watching Principal Victoria from South Park.
Oh my gosh. Well, she kind of looked like a school teacher to me.
She did. She's like, "Is there a problem here?" And then Rhea's like, "No, See you at the elm tree after school.
I'm fine.
So one more backstage segment and an announcement before we get to the main event. Backstage, somebody, or I guess it's Radzi, attempts to interview Jenny, talking about how we haven't seen her since her loss to Tony Storm.
Such a long time ago.
Yeah, just last week.
At least 7 days.
Attempted interview, no interview for you. She doesn't say a word. She gives him an evil glare and she walks off.
As you listen to the Undertaker's music in the background.
So Colin, any notes on this?
I don't think we've seen the last of her in the title picture. Give it a little bit, but I did really find it funny that the Undertaker's music's playing in the background the whole time. These things happening. I don't know if you guys could hear it, but
I did not.
I didn't hear it, but yeah, that's actually pretty cool.
Any notes on this, Cindy?
I didn't notice it, but the only thing I was noticed about it is how it didn't give, I think it was Razzie, the bitch please glare and then walk off.
She didn't even let go of the glare. She just kept it. Just
right,
walk.
bitch face.
Just like,
Jerry?
Well, with this, she said a lot by saying very little. She's pretty much not done with Tony Storm, but at the same time, you don't want to see Tony Storm versus Jenny again. You want to see them possibly in a triple threat match or a four corners match. Something that's going to, add different dimensions to them at this point and maybe add some more contenders into there. So, I would think a Fatal 4-Way match is kind of imminent, especially if Piper and Ripley take off enough. Maybe it'll be a Fatal 4-Way match for the NXT UK Women's Championship.
Maybe. So one last announcement before the main event. Next week, as alluded to previously in the show, we get the two matches that we figured we were going to get.
Mm-hmm.
Cassius Ohno versus Ligero and Mustache Mountain versus Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews.
We get those next week.
Yep.
Hopefully.
I mean, I'll watch it.
Support, no DQ.
We are on to the main event. Or so you thought.
Yes.
Actually, we want to get the interview / video package for Pete Dunne out of the way. They saved it for last, and it was a couple of minutes. But to be fair, it is just a video package. He wasn't there. He wasn't in the ring. I don't even think he was backstage. I can't be sure where he was when they interviewed him. But they interspliced his answers and the things that he was saying with video footage and other things, and it was a video package.
It was a nice one.
Oh, great. They are all great.
They're always great video packages.
But we're not going to rate that.
No.
So let's get that out of the way. Pete Dunne says that he's not going to walk away like a lot of people thought. Even I thought, because Jerry had told me about him getting approached by William Regal.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, great, move him over to NXT, freshen up NXT a little bit. Plus, another head to fill in the 11 spots that they're losing to Raw and SmackDown.
oh boy.
But no, he's staying in NXT UK, and he says everybody focuses on his incredible reign, but he has not forgotten about the chase.
Mm-hmm.
And he is prepared to give Walter the chase because after facing him, now he knows his weaknesses. He says he knows how to beat him. He just has to get Walter to agree to a rematch.
He just had an off night. He actually said off night, which I was like, oh, don't say off night.
Yeah, I that was the one part of the whole thing I didn't like. What are your notes about this, Jerry?
Well, at this point, I still don't see Dunne getting the belt back off of Walter. And that still could lead to the NXT, like him going to NXT and possibly challenging there because that's more goal for him to chase. And him versus Gargano would make for some good for something great. Or whoever's got the belt at that point, because Dunne's going to elevate them to that next level. So, do I want to see Dunne versus Walter again? Hell yes, I want to see Dunne versus Walter again.
Mm-hmm.
Do I feel it's kind of rushed because of it? I do, but at the same time, if they're going to move Dunne over to fill some of this vacuum that's going on in NXT right now, I'm all for it. It'd be a nice little transition to be done saying it's like, okay, I've lost to Walter twice. I've got to get back to my roots. I got to get to find that viciousness again. Where do I attack? Oh, Mr. Regal, I'm headed over to America.
Yeah, so the whole Regal Pete Dunne backstage segment was just wait
Yeah.
kind of thing.
It's a simmer thing, but it's one of those simmer things I can
when it
actually
happens,
wait.
you'll remember this.
Yes.
Any notes on this, Colin?
Well, I didn't like the fact that he said, "Oh, I had an off day."
Yeah.
Like, you know, look, dude,
That's
you've been
a heel thing to
unstoppable
say.
for like 2 years. You just don't have an off day.
No.
Am I looking forward to a rematch down the line? Oh, fuck yeah. But honestly, instead of Dunn going to NXT, like Aaron Rift and I talked about the other night, 205 Live. Because he's been booked as 205 pounds. Hear me out. He doesn't have to stay for long. But go. A lot of people have eyes on Dunn. They moved their two biggest people off of 205 Live. Put someone there that has the eyes on them. Try to help establish it a little bit more. And win the title for a bit. Give him like 6-8 months there. Not even. And then, boom, bring him up some other guy. Like, all right, I don't have anything else I can do here and go. But I'm looking forward to a possible rematch. Wherever Pete Dunne goes, I'm just excited for him, and I'm excited to see it. Simple as that.
Hashtag simple as that. NoDQ.com/Noah. What about you, Cindy? What did you think about this video package?
Let me go ahead and take a long sip of my drink.
Fine choice in a Rick and Morty.
Careful, you might spill it.
Yeah. Okay. Now, first of all, I'm glad Pete Dunne is staying in NXT UK because that's where he belongs to. Because we all know what's happening with the current NXT star that recently moved up to the main roster since the whole shake-up situation, which we're not going to get into that.
Mm-hmm.
However, promo's very solid. Super looking forward to that rematch between him and Walter. However, even though this is possibly going to be like one rematch, he'll just focus on with Walter and then move on to the next. Because, or how it's going to go, have Pete Dunne go to regular NXT, possibly maybe facing Johnny Gargano for the NXT title. I would love to see that happening.
In Toronto. Because that would be happening in Toronto.
That's going to be epic.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be epic.
And that way he can definitely establish himself, you know, making both brands like NXT UK and the regular NXT, you know, together, being well known as it is too. And regarding like when he's gonna get called up or whatever, very, very soon. But I don't see Pete Dunne going to 205 Live because as I discussed on the recent episode of hashtag 205 Live's episode, some of the cruiserweight that's already been on there needs to like step it up more, and that's what they're trying to focus on more. Especially we have Orly Morgan that was recently called up to 205 Live, and we're getting a little bit more of the NXT star coming from 205 Live, like for instance Raul Mendoza, which I could see him coming to 205 Live, but that's a whole different story. But starting with Pete Dunne, no, it's not going to happen. I would say like give him a couple more months in NXT and then get called up to the main roster. Depends on like what are the current situation, the current state is, but you know, it is what it is.
Support No DQ.
As far as Pete Dunne's concerned and where he goes, like honestly, I don't give a fuck. I don't care where he goes. Because between Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and NXT UK, I watch all four.
Yeah.
So I get to see him no matter what. As long as he doesn't go to 205 Live, I'm good. Hashtag simple man, NoDQ.com/Noah. Okay, so let's move on finally to the main event. And I say that as if this is going to be the best part of the show. I don't think it was. Although, Zach Gibson, James Drake, you know we're going to get at least a decent match out of these guys. And then Kenny Williams and Amir Jordan. Amir Jordan, kind of flashy, doesn't really like have what it takes to back up that kind of flashiness.
No, he doesn't.
Kenny Williams, however, I think the most flashy part of him is the 3D glasses that he wears.
And the Marty McFly jacket.
I don't mind the jacket.
Yeah.
But when it comes to what he can do in the ring,
Yeah.
like that shit where he does the wrecking ball drop kick through the ropes, then skins the cat, and then runs back and does a suicide dive, like Kenny Williams, man. That's what I know Kenny Williams for. He doesn't actually do that in this match.
Nope.
But, and this is not a title match. Zach Gibson and James Drake come out, and Zach Gibson cuts a pre-match promo basically reminding the crowd that they are the tag champs and that this is not a title match, it's an exhibition, and also that they are soon to be the most important champions in everywhere, I guess.
She's double shoeing you, dude.
So,
she really, really
all right, let's get the shoes up because Zach Gibson's out. Cindy, what did you think about this main event?
Okay, first of all, I was concerned if there's gonna be any crowd that's gonna remember some of the chants like from the NXT UK crowd because, of course, it was taking place in Brooklyn. But once the Grizzly Young Gun came out, one person started the "If you hate Zach Gibson, just shoes up," and then pretty much some of the crowd started to chant "If you hate Zach Gibson, shoes up," and then there's this one guy in the front of the audience, "Oh, double shoes up," and then some of the people in like the back row too. So that makes my heart happy, knowing the fact that you got some of the majority of the crowd do watch NXT and NXT UK and
Yes.
they're familiar who are James Drake and Zach Gibson.
Which is why it's important to have a small venue like that.
Absolutely.
Yes. And promo-wise, while Zach Gibson was trying to cut a promo, you got a lot of people are like chanting "booze" to "boring," and pretty much the boring chant actually was concurred during the match so far. Even though the match was okay, but not the best, but not the worst, but pretty decently okay.
Yeah.
For that, but then again, you got a lot of some of the crowd that started chanting "If you hate Zach Gibson, shoes up" right when the match started. So that makes me happy, and that's like one of the takeaway of this. So far with Kenny Williams, he did an amazing job. Amir Jordan, he's trying to prove who he is, even though with his gimmick, it's pretty much all right. But I know some of the people are somewhat not familiar with like who Amir Jordan is, or even Kenny Williams. But even though it was a solid match, but the ending, I'm not happy about it. It's when after Amir Jordan did the Swan Song Bombay, and he was like this close to pinning James Drake, but of course, Zach Gibson had to take James out of the ring, and then of course they walk away and then count out. Yep. Good match, but wasn't impressed.
What about you, Jerry?
I don't know if you guys have ever had a burst eardrum before, but that shit sucks. And that's what Gibson was coming back from in this match. I heard broken toe, which could have also happened in this match for all we know as well. And he could have just been playing up the ear. But at the same time, this match didn't really have a lot of importance to me because it was an exhibition match, which I was reminded of about 20 times during the match also, because Gibson would not shut up about it being an exhibition match. James Drake does a lot of talking in this match, just not on the microphone. And Kenny Williams and Amir Jordan, they're doing their high-flying shit. Yay! But at the same time, I was really upset by this because Williams and Amir Jordan got fed Eichner and Bartel prior to this match. And now it almost seems all for naught, really. I'm not sure what they're building towards at this point. Will Williams and Amir Jordan get another title shot? I really don't care, because I think we've seen everything that Amir Jordan and Kenny Williams can actually offer in this match. So that's what I took away from this match.
What about you, Colin?
I thought it was a decent match. I mean, I was impressed by Williams in this match. I love the Grizzly Gun Wrestlers. I love the way they work. Yeah, after Gibson took the kick or whatever and was holding his ear, and Drake went to go make the tag, and he waved him off from the outside like, "No, you got to do this on your own. I can't." And then pulled him off like Cindy said, and headed towards the back. And then you can see Drake was trying to go back to the ring.
Yeah, Drake wanted to finish it.
And Gibson grabbed him like, "No, dude, fuck this. We're going home. Just punch and pack." Like
There's punch and pack.
We're out. I mean, there was, good offense, good, from Grizzly Young Veterans in this match. I love those guys, the team. They work so well together. I agree with Jerry that, Drake talked a lot, but nothing on the mic. So it's, it's nice to see him breaking out a little bit of this, but she actually fucking talk.
He really did pretty much call a lot of the match and determine a lot where it goes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know where they're gonna go. I don't know where they're going with this tag team. I mean, like you said, they got their win over Marcel Bartel and Fabian Eichner, and now they beat the tag champs via count out. Like, what are they doing with these guys? Are they really trying to establish them, or is it all going to be for nothing? Or I just don't know. It was a decent match, though.
Yeah. Basically, the story here, as you guys said, was Gibson and his ear, and that comes about halfway through the match. Like, they start off by working over Amir Jordan, that is Zach Gibson and James Drake, and they just do it their style for a while. It becomes apparent in this match, and even vocally toward the middle and toward the end, and Gibson is reminding James Drake, this is just an exhibition match. Like, don't go in this, like...
This is not TakeOver, dude. Calm down.
Yeah, the titles are not on the line here. Like, we can afford a loss as long as we don't lose the titles, but you don't have to do everything in this. And they certainly didn't try to do everything that we've seen them try to do. They didn't even...
They held back a lot because it was an American crowd and not for the titles. They didn't have to do anything.
But eventually, Kenny Williams gets the hot tag, and he comes in, and Drake tags in and catches Kenny with a drop kick to the knee, and Gibson with a drop kick to the face. And then he gets into the corner, and Drake goes down, or Gibson goes down like Matt Hardy on all fours, and Drake jumps off of him into a mirror and kicks. Oh, okay, so never mind. So Amir was in the corner, and so he drop kicks him off the corner. Sorry. And then Drake with a slingshot over the top rope, sledgehammer, and then Gibson has got Amir Jordan over Kenny.
Yeah.
Over his knee and delivers a backbreaker at the same time. Like, that was sweet looking.
Really good looking this time around.
But then at some point after this, Gibson gets the kick to the head, and now he's like on the outside injured.
Incapacitated, yeah.
While Drake's in the ring, and Drake's like, I think he's got like a ground hold on, like a rest hold on, and he's yelling over to Gibson, like, "You okay?" And he's like, "Carry on." Carry on. But then Kenny gets the hot tag to Jordan, and Jordan comes in, and they go to do this tag team move where Amir Jordan has got Drake set up like for a flatliner, and Kenny Williams springboards off the ropes into a reverse elbow, and I don't think Amir Jordan followed through with the flatliner.
No, he didn't.
He just kind of collapsed underneath the move. But then he went for the pinfall, and this is where Gibson actually does do something, because even though he can't tag in, he does break up the pin, and then ends up getting drop kicked back outside anyway. And then Kenny hits this wheelbarrow facebuster, and then Amir Jordan comes off the top rope with a Swanton Bombay. And this is where Gibson pulls Drake out of the pin attempt and out of the ring. I think I might have confused some of this with the tag match earlier.
No, you got it all.
No,
You nailed it.
No, I mean earlier when I was talking about that match and
Oh, no,
the pinfall getting pulled out.
No, you never mentioned that. That's good.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
so after he pulls him out of the pinfall attempt, they're kind of like left on the ground for a minute while the ref counts to 10. And instead of letting Drake get back into the ring before the 10 count, as Colin said, Gibson just grabs him and pulls him back. He's like, let's just go, man. Exhibition match, man. We're not going to lose the titles. Even if the titles were on the line, we can afford a 10 count.
We have cool new curtains to wear. Let's get out of here.
So that was kind of to me, that was kind of a flat, lame ending to the end for this match. I would have rather see Kenny Williams and Amir Jordan somehow get a pinfall victory over James Drake because Gibson's fucked up.
Yeah.
I would have much rather seen that, as unbelievable as I think that would be. But anyway, because Drake's pretty good by himself. We've seen that.
That would have been some really good heat for Amir Jordan and Kenny Williams. For that to happen, it kind of kills a lot of the momentum that they have going.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the match. It wasn't the best or anything, but fuck that ending.
Far from the best.
But that does bring us to the end of the main event. And on the NXT party, we rate the main event using NXT.
Spots of it.
Spots of it. So let's start with, let's see, Sydney went first on the main event. Let's start with Colin. Out of 5 spots of NXT, where do you rate this main event?
3.25. We have 3.25. I mean, I'm really disappointed with the way it ended. I'm not a fan of cheap wins like that, so I'm gonna give it a 3.25.
Cindy?
Well, the crowd says it all. Even though they did chant the Gibson shoes up, like they're very recognized with that chant. And I'm gonna have to agree with them because the match was pretty much boring, but it was decent. And the ending kind of threw me off completely, so I'm gonna have to give it a solid 3.
3. What about you, Jerry?
Same reasons that she was talking about. The crowd wasn't really into it. In fact, there was no implication for this match. There was a count out victory. Nothing really got accomplished in this match except for just filling airtime at this point. Something that could have been done just in England. I had a better feel for it, especially with the crowds and whatnot. They kind of wasted in Brooklyn. I'm only giving it 2 3/4.
Wow. So I guess I'm going to blow y'all's minds.
Yeah.
I started at 3 for the match, off the back of a really great show, 3.25. Off the back of 2 things. First of all, you know me.
Loves the story.
They told the story of Zach Gibson getting kicked in the ear, and I think they did a really good job of telling it, especially since they had one thing on their side. It was such a small venue that the things that they were yelling back and forth to each other could be heard by fucking everybody. Not just us at home watching because there might be microphones on the cameras. The whole crowd could hear the shit that they were yelling at each other. Everything about James Drake yelling at Zach over in the corner on the outside, not even up on the apron waiting for a tag, out there holding his head. He's like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Carry on. Like, I'll be fine, but I can't get in the ring unless I need to break up a pinfall attempt. You know what? Fuck this. Let's go."
Yeah.
I like the story. Plus, you add the crowd, the little bit of the crowd that actually held their shoes up and chanted along with it. I'm going to give this 3.5 spots of NXT.
That doesn't surprise me too much. Like you said, you're very story driven. So,
for what it was, they did it well.
Oh yeah, like if it was a title match, I probably would have given it at least 3. But at the same time, it wasn't. So. When
you factor in if his eardrum really got busted,
yeah,
that kind of storyline, like, even though I was disappointed by the flat ending, it kind of makes sense. Fuck this, let's get out of here. Like, let's just there's no point in you fighting both of these guys by yourself.
Yeah.
And me only being able to pull you out of a pinfall attempt. Let's just go.
Makes you wonder what kind of injury. Wonder what kind of injury Keith Lee got to make that match get moved off again.
Who knows? I'm sure we could look it up, but it would probably come with the risk of spoilers.
Oh, yes.
So, that brings us to the end of this episode of the NXT party. And this is the plugs, folks. Where can we find you, Cindy?
All right, you guys can follow me at nodq.com/Cindy. That's going to take you directly to my Twitter page. Also, make sure to follow me on my Instagram at simply_C_OK, where I posted photo art of landscape and wrestling. And also on my Instagram profile page, you guys can find like all the highlights of past independent wrestling shows and WWE shows I've gone to in the past. Which, by the way, more independent wrestling shows that's going to be uploaded within the next couple weeks. And in June,
You have been so crazy.
oh yeah,
Show
that's
enough.
what it's all
So
about.
enough.
Nothing. So yeah. And make sure to follow my first YouTube channel at simply_C_OK and second YouTube channel at Tyson Pop Production. Both channels are still on hiatus because my friends and I, we have busy schedules and busy lives. And do not forget, y'all, make sure to go to nodq.com/shirts. That's going to take you directly to the Pro Wrestling Team store. So pick up any nodq.com t-shirt, including the ladies of nodq.com shirts that I'm wearing that featuring myself, Caitlin, and Aaron with the knee, y'all. Stefan has a shirt, and also I have my own shirts too. NoDQ.com Galaxy t-shirt where it has everybody's name on it, including the one that's been super chatted. Sent super chat donation throughout the whole 2018, and everybody has a shirt as well. So hey, grab one.
You know, Jerry doesn't have a shirt, but his name is on a shirt.
Yes, it is.
So,
The Galaxy one.
Yes.
And
speaking of shirts, we need a logo for the NXT team so that we can have a shirt.
yes.
And so, if anybody out there wants to donate us a logo to put on a T-shirt for No DQ's
NXT
store, NX Team, capital N, capital X, team. We will add you to the NX team and put your name on the shirt as well. I believe that's fitting.
That's fair.
But if you're good at digital art, that would be awesome. Otherwise, I got to figure it out soon because I hope to have those shirts so that everybody can get one before Toronto.
Soon.
Speaking of the guy speaking, where can we find you, Colin?
You can find me on Twitter at Colin26Andrew. You can find me on YouTube at Colin Andrew. That's COLIN space Andrew ANDREW. It's been a busy week, so I haven't been able to put a content video up this week, but it's coming. You can keep supporting NoDQ. You can go check out NoDQ.NoDQ/Noah. Check out the latest and greatest of 205 live. Pro Wrestling Tees. You can check out Aftermatch Wrestling.
Oh, absolutely.
Because
not on Pro Wrestling Tees. We don't have an Aftermatch shirt either.
Not yet.
we don't have a T-shirt for that. But
it's getting there.
Check out their YouTube page. Get the subscribers up. But I'll let these gentlemen take care of all that. So plug away.
Oh yes. We have.
Don't turn it into a Chris Mace here.
Oh yeah, dude. Seriously.
We'll have to kibosh the residential plugs.
Oh, seriously.
Those are our plugs. We gotta drop those.
We have the mouse right here, Chief.
Nobody makes it this far, so it probably doesn't matter at all. But anyway, I do want to thank you guys for being on the NXT party with us. And if you would like to be on the NXT party and help us review a future episode of NXT UK, come have a spot of NXT with us. You can find me on Twitter. Just go to nodq.com/Stefan. That's STEFAN. Or if you just want to look me up on Twitter, it's at Stefan R. Osborne, OSBORNE. As always, the R stands for restricted.
And why is that?
El fucketh bomb. I drop a lot of fuck bombs. And I don't say F bombs because I actually say the word fuck here.
He says fuck a lot.
And you can also find this gentleman on Twitter
at No DQ General, and also on my Facebook group Armbar, all capital ARMBAR. Exclamation point. I'm sitting next to the other head administrator. We have two of the moderators right behind us. Come find us. We'll read you in the group. A lot more activity. I have more members now than we do subscribers for Aftermatch. I don't know how that happened, but the discussions have gotten great. We've gotten great videos. We're doing themes on days. It turned into a wrestling group. I want to thank everybody for joining, and it's been great.
If he seems a little extra giddy, it's because he actually runs Armbar.
Yes.
And I actually run the channel.
Yes.
It just so happens we both benefit off the show, so it is now our channel and our group, I guess. Although it's mostly his. I have very little
I was about to say, he's become the Brock Lesnar.
I do, however, know not to let anybody into the group that says their favorite wrestler is Ronda Rousey.
Or what? Or yes.
Yes.
Yes. But yes is a bad one.
So maybe that won't be a problem anymore. It seems like she might be gone for a while. Or maybe she'll have a surprise reappearance at the next pay-per-view.
No telling.
Who knows? So if you like this video, you should click the like button that's underneath me. If you like all of our videos, you should probably click the subscribe button that's underneath Jerry over there. And somewhere in there, between them, is a share button. And that is really important. We want you to share us with your friends so that we can talk to more people about wrestling. It'll bring up a little bar on your phone and just click on Twitter and then share, and then click on Facebook and then share. Go ahead, we'll wait.
Yeah.
Not too long.
Or about me in 10 seconds.
They can pause the video, so there is that.
Yes.
Or they can just listen to us while they do that, because if you've got it in the background, it'll keep playing.
Yeah.
So join us on Aftermatch Wrestling. That is our YouTube channel. You will get these videos, that is What's NXT and the NXT Party, as well as usually any reviews that we do of TakeOver or predictions that we do of TakeOver. A lot of times predictions that we do for the main roster. You'll find those on Aftermatch Wrestling a good half a day early. We also have original content, Rated R reports that we do with guests that we have after we do the shows. Tonight, I believe it's just going to be Cindy and us, so that should be fun. Probably have a pretty good high rating. And anytime you get a chick on the show, man.
Seriously? Well, I wouldn't say all that now. Cindy's been the only female member that we've actually had on the show so far.
She has got a dog somewhere in that room, and that has got to get the ratings up at some point.
Yes.
So find us on Aftermatch Wrestling, all one word, AFTERMATCH, Aftermatch Wrestling. And we are on our way to 100 subscribers. At 100 subscribers, we will start doing What's NXT Live so that you can ask us questions if you are up at the ungodly hours of a Thursday morning when we record that show.
1 and 2.
But if you're up, oftentimes people are. Colin catches a lot of our shows as soon as I post them. So I believe he'd probably be able to catch them if they were live occasionally.
Yeah.
So look for that. If you do subscribe to Aftermatch Wrestling, just click the bell, because that'll let you know when we go live. Basically. Because you might miss it. You never know. So,
or not miss it.
I think that is all the plugs.
I think that's it this time.
So, for the Cleaver, Colin Andrew, for the Duchess, Cindy G, for the General, Jerry Slaughter, I am the Wizard of No DQ, Stefan Osborne. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for having a spot of NXT with us. And we will see you NXT time.
Cheers, y'all.
I like turtles.
As always, nodq.com/shirts.